Hey guys, we need to have a conversation. Sit down, let's talk. I'm going to preface this video by saying that this is not going to be a fun or easy video to watch, and that by watching this video that some of you may feel differently about me, and very justifiably and understandably so. I also want to say that I come on here with an immense amount of shame and regret. However, I feel that you deserve to know and have access to this information. I'm just going to be really frank and rip off the band-aid and say that I said the N-word when I was 14 and 15 years old. I never called another person the N-word. I've never used the hard R. I was not a frequent user of the word, and I have never and will never feel hatred towards a specific group of people. I used the N-word like a really naughty curse word that I knew I wasn't allowed to use. And to be frank, I think it was partially white entitlement. It was a word that I knew I wasn't allowed to use, and a word that I knew that it wasn't for me, but I wanted it to be for me, hence my usage of it, which I am appalled of. When I was 14 and 15 years old, I was an extremely insecure person and would do just about anything and everything to be liked and accepted by my peers, even if I knew it was wrong. However, during that very same year, I realized what I was doing on my own, what was disgusting. I already knew what I was doing was wrong. However, I came to the realization on just how severe of an action I was making and how much hurt and harm I was going to really be causing. And since then, I have never used the word again and never plan on it. I am so incredibly disgusted and appalled to this day with my actions. This was in freshman year of high school, and I was surrounded at the time with people who were extremely tolerant of this type of behavior. However, this is anything but excusable. I had my own decisions at that age to make on whether or not I was going to use that word, and unfortunately and so disappointingly, I chose to still say it. And for that, I am so incredibly sorry and regretful for. I can't say anything now that can take away the words that I said then. What's done has been done. I have caused my damage. However, the only thing I can say is that I have done an immense amount of works to keep my white entitlement in check and to understand more of what white entitlement is in the first place. I've also done immense amounts of work when it comes to working on myself to be a more self-confident and a more conscious person for the better. I am so incredibly regretful, disgusted, appalled within my own behavior that I made when I was 14 and 15 years old. And I'm so sorry for letting down a community and disappointing a community that I am so incredibly proud of and grateful for. I also want to take a moment to specifically apologize to my community, and very specifically to the Black community that is within my own followership, and to the Black community in general. I've let you down, I've disappointed you, and I have possibly made you no longer feel safe with me, and that was something that I never wanted you to feel, and I am so very sorry. So why am I making this video? Why am I talking about this now? Let me tell you. A few days ago, someone came into my live stream, and they said that they knew me from my past, and that they knew that I had said the N-word, and I froze. I sat there with my mouth open, not knowing what to say, because I knew I could not lie. And as I sat there, I watched not only my followership, who has been there for me since day one, but my very own moderator team, who I enjoy and love talking to on a day-to-day basis. I sat there and watched people who have been there for me since day one, who have created everything I have today, who have had my back since the very beginning of me getting on the internet. I sat them and watched them defend me on something that I knew that I didn't deserve defending on. It was a horrible gut feeling. One of the worst gut feelings that I have felt probably ever. To know that I had let down people who had nothing but admiration and respect for me, to the point that they were willing to stick up for me. And in hindsight, I had let them down. And then and there, I realized that there was no way that I could not tell you. I can never experience that again. I can't sit there and watch you guys defend me when I know that I didn't deserve it. This is also, I want to be clear that I'm not being forced into making this video. And this isn't widespread news, and this is not being posted about. But I cannot sit through that again. I cannot watch you defend me on something that I know that I did not deserve. Not after everything that you guys have given me. You guys deserve at least to hear this from my mouth, my face, my heart. You deserve to hear it from me, and you deserve to have your opportunity to make your own opinions on whether or not you want to continue to support me. You deserve to have this information accessible to you. I want to say now that however you're feeling with the information that I've given you, my actions, what we're talking about is completely understandable. I'm not going to sit here and justify my unjustifiable actions. I am appalled and disgusted within myself on my own. I am so sorry for the shame that I have brought this community. I also want to say very specifically that when it comes to the conversation of forgiveness, the only people who should really be talking about forgiveness and forgiving me, if anything, if I deserve it, should be the Black community, the community whom I directly affected, harmed, and added to a systemic issue. I am so incredibly sorry, and I cannot say that enough. I also want to say that this is not a time to sit there and defend and stick up for me, and especially not time to argue with other commenters about how they feel. If someone chooses not to forgive me, just know that they have every right to not forgive me, and that I stand behind them fully in their decision. I have let people down in significant ways, and that cannot be ignored. I also want people to know that if you take this as an opportunity to silence and belittle Black voices, that you are not welcomed on my page, and that you are not listening to what I am saying. I also want to take this to start to end off the video to say that I do plan on taking about a week or two break from my platforms to allow people to intake this information and decide on how they want to feel about me and if they want to continue to support my platform. And I want you to know that whatever decision you make, that I fully support you and that I am fully behind you with whatever decision you decide to make. I also want you to know that I'm not going to be releasing posters until I come back. I want people to have an opportunity, like I said before, to decide on whether or not they want to continue to support me, my art, and the future of MySpaceMama. I also want to say that I do plan on returning to my platforms, which I know may be hard to hear for some people. However, I want you to know that I did not build this platform with hatred. I did not build this platform with the version of myself when I was 14, 15 years old. I have done, since then, immense amounts of work for the better, to not only better myself as a human being, but I have done years of therapy and self-work to be better for me and to be better for you. And my final thing I have to say is a message to my younger following. Please hear me now. Take my decision, my horrible decision I make, as a warning and as an example. Saying slurs in any sort of capacity, whether you say it with anyone, even if they're tolerant of your behavior, is appalling and disgusting. You're not eye-grabbing, you're not funny, you're not edgy, you're just offensive and hurtful. And I'm telling you from experience, there really is no worse feeling than knowing that I have let down a community of people who I have nothing but admiration, respect, and love for, and at that, who I take inspiration from. I have directly hurt and harmed people who I never wanted to hurt and harm because I made a horrible decision and said a horrible word. Heed my warning now and understand from experience that you will look back on yourself as you get older and you will feel appalled with yourself. It is a horrible feeling. I want to thank you for watching the entirety of the video, if you have. And I want to say again and reiterate how sorry I am and how regretful I am. And I want you to know that every day I will continue to better myself, not only for me, but for the greater good of my platform. And I want to continue to have my platform to be a place of kindness, respect, wisdom, and knowledge. And I want it to be a safe space. And it devastates me to know that it may not feel like a safe space to a handful of people. I am so sorry for not making you feel safe. I never wanted you to feel like that. However, I will do my utmost work on when I come back to show and prove to you that I am proud of the person that I am now, and that the person that I am now can make you proud and can continue to repair and help you, hopefully, to feel safe with me again. I again am so incredibly sorry, and again, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the best with intaking this knowledge. Thank you.